Hey there everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. You know, it's been 3 years since I last talked about Spider-Man while blogging his 2014 sequel, and I still say that he's my favorite Marvel superhero, even though I never read too much of the comics as a kid. Also, I did mention that Spider-Man made an appearance in Captain America 3 Civil War. But I don't know if many of you guys saw that after the cliffhanger which followed the end credits, there were some captions saying that Spider-Man will return to the big screen. But is this new movie worth checking out? Well, let's find out. Released on July 7th, 2017, the movie is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now let's get started. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, young Peter Parker returns home to live with his Aunt May. Under the watchful eye of mentor Tony Stark, Parker starts to embrace his newfound identity as Spider-Man. He also tries to return to his normal daily routine, distracted by thoughts of proving himself to be more than just a friendly neighborhood superhero. Peter must soon put his powers to the test when the evil Vulture emerges to threaten everything he holds dear. So, what do I think of this movie? Well, it was awesome! This has got to be the best Marvel movie I've seen so far. But before I get ahead of myself, let's move on to Mustang Notes. The film is directed by John Watts, with a screenplay by the writing teams of Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, Watts and Christopher Ford, and Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers. In February 2015, Marvel Studios and Sony reached a deal to share the character rights of Spider-Man, integrating the character into the established Marvel Cinematic Universe. The following June, while Watts was hired to direct, followed shortly after the casting of Tomei and the hiring of Daly and Goldstein to write the script. In April 2016, the film's title was revealed, along with additional casting. Principal photography began in June 2016 at Pinewood Atlantis Studios in Fayette County, Georgia, and continued in New York City before concluding in Berlin the following October. Now, to me, the reason why this film is so great is because it has great action scenes. Plus, some parts of the movie remind me of my old high school life. And I like the scenes in Washington, D.C., where Peter joins a decathlon team and saves his friends from a malfunctioned elevator at the Washington Monument, and I like all the scenes in New York City. Oh, speaking of which, one of my favorite scenes is when Spider-Man fights Vulture and his minions on a boat that I managed to ride on during my vacation in New York City last year. I also like the scene at the beginning of the film where Peter did a video diary of his battle from Captain America 3 Civil War. I also find it pretty funny that a few criminals who were robbing an ATM machine were wearing Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk masks. Plus, the music by Michael Giacchino is really epic and action-packed. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang Notes, let's talk about the characters. Our main hero, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, is this time played by Tom Holland. Peter is a 15-year-old boy who received spider-like abilities after being bitten by a genetically modified spider. Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal were impressed with Holland's performances in films like The Impossible, Wolf Hall, and In the Heart of the Sea. Holland took inspiration from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, the previous Spider-Man actors. but also hoped to deliver something new and exciting with his take on the character. Holland added, "This is a very different side to Spider-Man because you're going to see a kid dealing with everyday problems that a 15-year-old deals with, as well as trying to save the day." Fun fact: Holland attended the Bronx High School of Science for a few days to prepare for the role. While there, he told a few of the students he would be portraying Spider-Man, which they did not believe him, which Holland felt would carry over well into the film, where other characters do not suspect Peter of being Spider-Man. It took Holland between 25 and 45 minutes to get into costume, depending on if he had to wear a harness for stunts underneath the suit. But in my opinion, Tom's portrayal as Spidey fits him to a T. Not just with his personality, but with his new suit, abilities, and gear that Tony has provided for him. Next is Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, once again played by Robert Downey Jr. As mentioned in my last episode, Tony is a self-described genius, billionaire, playboy, and philanthropist with an electromechanical suit of armor of his own invention. Not only that, but he's also Peter's mentor and the creator of the U.S. Department of Damage Control. Thomas Rothman noted that beyond the commercial advantage of featuring Downey in the movie, the inclusion of Stark was important due to the relationship established between him and Peter in Captain America 3 Civil War, and felt that the development of that relationship would be a rewarding aspect of the movie. Next we have Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau, whom you may know as the director of the first two Iron Man films, including Zathura, the 2016 Jungle Book movie, and that stupid Elf movie. And he's working on directing a live-action remake of The Lion King. Anyway, Hogan is the former head of security for Stark Industries and Tony Stark's driver and bodyguard. Favreau stated that in the movie, Hogan is looking after Peter in order to keep him in line and help him out at times. Next is Peter's best friend and avid video gamer, Ned, played by Jacob Batalon. Marvel took aspects from various comic book characters to make Ned unique to the movie. In my opinion, while Ned can be a bit nerdy at times and is one of the few people in the movie who knows Spider-Man's real identity, he makes a great supporting character, like when he uses the school's computer to help Peter while he tries to stop Vulture. Next is the main villain, Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, who got to be in Tim Burton's Batman films, as well as being in Minions, Herbie Fully Loaded, and Pixar's Cars and Toy Story 3. And I hear he's going to be in Tim Burton's upcoming Dumbo remake. Anyway, Vulture is a man with criminal tendencies who runs a New York salvaging company and has a suit consisting of mechanical wings forged with Chitauri technology, and he's also Liz's father. Toomes was described to be different from other Marvel Cinematic Universe villains like Thanos and Ultron. Keaton called Toomes interesting to play and not completely villainous. Eric Hauserman Carroll described Toomes to be a businessman with a family who wants to look out for his kids. He's got sort of a Tony Soprano mentality. He doesn't have these big delusions of grandeur where he wants to take over the world or replace the government or even defeat the Avengers or anything. He just wants his shot at the good life. The rest of the cast includes Zendaya, Laura Harrier, Marissa Tomei, and Tony Revolori. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Spider-Man Homecoming is an awesome movie to come from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has a great cast of characters, thrilling music, fantastic action-packed fight scenes, and a really epic story. So, if you're a die-hard Marvel fan, or a Spider-Man fan, then I'm sure you guys might enjoy this movie if you want to see something worth watching this summer. I give this film a 98% out of 100. Well, that's it for today, citizens. Be sure to join me again next time as we move away from Marvel and onto the realm of DC Comics, where I take a look at the most recent adaptation of an Amazon superheroine, Mustang Power.